Mazzei's numbers don't add up, so he's changing the subject. Mazzei is asking voters to focus on what they fear about Gentner Drummond instead of asking whether Mazzei's own economic plan adds up. Mazzei is selling himself as the financial expert in the Republican race for governor. But as the August 25th runoff approaches, his advertising is increasingly focused on something other than finance. One advertisement calls Attorney General Gentner Drummond too liberal for Oklahoma. Another accuses Drummond of siding with the American Civil Liberties Union to permit transgender surgeries on minors. Other messages invoke Joe Biden, liberalism, and familiar cultural fears. Those accusations may get voters' attention. They do not explain how Mazzei intends to pay for his economic promises. That may be the point. The claim that Drummond supports transition procedures for minors is particularly misleading when compared with his record as Attorney General. In August 2025, Drummond publicly praised a federal appellate decision upholding Oklahoma's restrictions on what his office called gender transition procedures for children. Mazzei's advertisement appears to transform a dispute about how Drummond's office handled litigation into a claim about what Drummond personally supports. Those are not necessarily the same thing. Voters can agree or disagree with Drummond's handling of any case, but they should receive an accurate description of his position. The larger question is why Mazzei wants this issue at the center of the campaign. It will not reduce anyone's grocery bill. It will not raise a worker's paycheck. It will not lower the cost of housing, insurance, or health care. And it will not tell voters how Mazzei intends to replace billions of dollars in state and local revenue. Mazzei proposes reducing Oklahoma's top individual income tax rate from 4.5% to 3% during his first year as governor. He then wants to eliminate the income tax entirely within 6 years. Mazzei says the first reduction can be revenue neutral by eliminating approximately $2 billion in deductions, exemptions, credits, and other tax preferences. There is a basic problem. He has not given voters an itemized list showing which provisions he would eliminate and how much each one would produce. Tax credits can sound like free money handed to corporations. Some undoubtedly deserve elimination, but the category Mazzei cites is much broader. It can include deductions, exemptions, and preferential treatment benefiting individuals, industries, farmers, manufacturers, and other taxpayers. Eliminating one may be justified. It is still a tax increase for the person or business losing it. Our earlier review of Oklahoma's shadow budget identified approximately $1.5 billion annually in major tax incentives, subsidies, and tax-directed spending. That includes the parental choice tax credit, quality jobs incentives, aerospace incentives, reduced gross production tax rates, major economic development programs, and the new taxpayer endowment fund. Mazzei has also said important agricultural and manufacturing sales tax exemptions would remain protected. Every protected program makes the unexplained remainder of his plan smaller. If he intends to eliminate different deductions and exemptions, voters deserve to know which ones. Wasteful tax credits is a campaign phrase. It is not a budget. Mazzei argues that his plan would not increase Oklahoma's overall tax burden because the income tax reduction would be offset by eliminating tax preferences. But revenue neutral does not mean every taxpayer pays less. It means government expects to collect approximately the same amount from a different combination of taxpayers. An Oklahoman who pays less individual income tax may benefit. A business losing a credit, deduction, or exemption may pay more. It might absorb the cost, reduce investment, or pass part of it to customers and employees. Without Mazzei's list, no one can calculate that distribution. Mazzei also proposes eliminating homestead property taxes for seniors and veterans. The emotional appeal is easy to understand. Many older Oklahomans on fixed incomes are watching insurance, utilities, food, and property taxes consume more of their monthly checks. But his proposal, as publicly described, does not appear to include an income or wealth limit. A retired homeowner struggling on Social Security could receive relief. So could a wealthy senior living in $1 million house. The larger the taxable value of the home, the greater the potential benefit. A universal age-based exemption could deliver some of its largest dollar benefits to people who need assistance least. Oklahoma already has more targeted property tax protections. Homeowners at least 65 years old may qualify for a freeze on taxable value when household income is below a county limit tied to federal housing figures. In some large counties, the 2026 limit is approximately $99,000. An older relief credit has a household income ceiling of only $12,000 and a maximum benefit of $200. Inflation has badly eroded both figures. Senator Julia Kurt has pointed to the more sensible starting place. Modernize protections that already exist, update outdated thresholds, and direct the greatest help toward homeowners most at risk of losing their homes. That approach is less dramatic than eliminating property taxes. It directs limited dollars where they can do the most good. Oklahoma state government does not collect property taxes. Schools, counties, career tech districts, libraries, and local public safety services depend upon them. If seniors and veterans stop paying homestead property taxes, one of three things must happen. Local schools and services lose revenue. The state reimburses local governments, or more of the burden shifts to homeowners and businesses that remain taxable. A promise is not a funding mechanism. Culture war advertising works because it turns complicated policy decisions into emotional signals. Tax policy is harder. It requires candidates to identify winners and losers, distinguish genuine investments from politically protected subsidies, and explain which services will be reduced and which taxpayers will pay more. The issue is not whether Oklahoma should review tax incentives. It should. The issue is not whether struggling seniors deserve property tax relief. They do. The issue is whether Mazzei's proposals are carefully targeted, fully financed, and transparent about who ultimately pays. Mike Mazzei's advertisements do not answer the questions. They change the subject. Until he publishes the complete list and the complete cost, Oklahoma voters are being asked to accept the slogan without seeing the spreadsheet. Follow the money at wlangdon.substack.com.